Good morning, everybody, or good day. It's my pleasure today to interview this guy, Cian O'Maidin, who incidentally is no stranger to being interviewed far and wide. Is that right, Cian?
Yes.
You've got loads of practice. Good.
Getting a bit of practice.
And do you want to tell the people at home why is that?
Set up a software company about, I suppose about 8.5 years ago now. And we've been really, really successful. Grown quite a lot internationally. Very, very involved in the open source world in particular. So at NearForm, we're about 150 people now, about 50 in Ireland, 30 in the UK, 30 in North America, and then mostly everybody else is dotted around different parts of Europe. So we actually have people in 20 countries working for NearForm. We've been working entirely remotely for about 6 years now. We started as at the very early days. We got involved in an open source project, Node.js, which in 2012 was like a new thing out there.
It was.
We were kind of at risk of being the Betamax company at the time because nobody was using the technology, but we were excited about it, and within a couple of years of us starting the company, it started to become really, really popular, and the phone started ringing off the hook, and we started picking up business in the US and different parts of Europe. At this point in time, we have about 150 customers, from the likes of Inca, which are a part of IKEA, through to EY, the New York Times, Condé Nast, ADP, a lot of enterprise businesses all over the world. And really kind of where they segued into working with us was we're seen as the kind of creators and stewards of this new technology that everybody's using. So they call us up then and look for the experts to come in and help them with projects and stuff. And so recently then, around March of this year, we got a call on a weekend from somebody working for the HSE asking could we help them to build an app. And it was I think it was a Saturday I got a call. And we stood up a team on the Sunday.
So you got the gig out of the blue, it sounds like.
Well, you see, the thing is, we were in uncharted territory in March of this year, and they brought in emergency legislation with all the governments to try and quickly put solutions in place to deal with COVID and to roll out technology. And the issue is, especially in government, it's all the old codger, big SIs, big companies that have been around for years and years.
Excuse me.
They're good, they're good at doing big, multi-year, big platform integrations and things like that. But actually, what was needed at this time was the ability to quickly build something very, very robust and deploy it at scale and get it right the first time. And so
you had to be agile.
You have to be not only agile, but you have to be pretty much at the top of the top in terms of capabilities to get these things delivered and done quickly. And so from a reputation perspective, the insider track people who asked around who the right people to talk to, our names would have come up in conversation.
Very good. Okay.
So,
why are you at the top of your game? What do you attribute the success of NearForm?
So the success in NearForm, fundamentally, it's about people, and I would characterize NearForm as a vocational company, and so the people that have got involved, certainly myself, from the beginning, it was very much a part of me, what I do in my life, and of great personal importance for me to do things that I'm kind of proud of and really believe in. And so over time, as we started to build NearForm, we started to get like-minded people, and like-minded people who are doing really interesting things in the open source world, and of a vocational type as well. And so it took us a few years to get a critical mass of talent and reputation as a business. So I'd imagine around 2016 we got to that place. So it took us about 4 years. And just to give you an idea, we started working on this open source project at the very beginning. It started to take off, we were kind of the, you know, the cheerleaders, I suppose, for it. But then also, you know, from a personal philosophy perspective, it felt right that we should invest into that project as we started to become more successful. So we started to hire people to work full time, contributing to the project itself, and we didn't like, you know, blow it out on our website and really try and overly market that either. Like, we kind of felt that you know, doing the right thing by ultimately a group of individuals who got involved in the project as well because they were interested was much more important than trying to promote that heavily, you know, in the media and stuff like that. And so, you know, we really built that reputation. Like, and I mean, the interesting thing for NearForm is, you know, we're a 150 person company. We're the biggest contributor to the Node.js runtime. We do more work on it than Microsoft or IBM or Google. In terms of the module ecosystem, so NPM is the package manager for JavaScript now. So from an NPM perspective, we are responsible for about 1 billion modules a month that are downloaded globally from NPM. They've been by NearForm. So we have everyone from Netflix are using our logging infrastructure for all their front end, MasterCard, Apple, all the big companies are using like technologies that we've built as open source projects here, you know, and so you know, we haven't been able to monetize that directly, but indirectly, like we really built this interesting organization of people who are vocational, and that's what
I guess it adds to your reputation. Yeah. So
yeah, but it reinforces itself as well. I mean, you know, the thing with process, you know, agile and the different processes that are out there, like ultimately, really, really high quality people who are highly motivated are the things that are going to make that brilliant, you know. And so that's the secret sauce to NearForm are the people at NearForm, you know. And our reputation, you know, is something that's built over time, because we always deliver. Like, we always get it right the first time. And I think we haven't had any remediation in 6 years.
Wow.
On a project. Yeah.
That's good. Now, the app itself is extremely successful, but I wouldn't have seen you guys as an app company. What's your, you know, when people first started building apps, every school child in the country seemed to be trying to build an app. And, you know, it soon turned out that it wasn't really for everybody to do that quickly. And it's what I'm trying to say is that it's more than an app, isn't it?
Oh, it's a platform.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a digital platform that manifests itself, you know, as an app that consumers or people can use, you know.
Yeah. Having said that, the front end is very well designed, I have to say. I think, you know, kudos to the guys who did that. It's a really, I think your friend Michael will be very proud of you. In fact, I think your old department in UL is very proud of you, because I've seen a few emails being passed around.
Nice.
But, you know, as you say, it is the people, and obviously they want to work with the best technology.
I mean, just to give you a little bit about the project, I suppose, the COVID project. So we built it in Ireland. We got the north and south of Ireland shared the code for it. We were the first two governments in the world to do interoperability.
Very important.
Yeah, but like, you know, we set the template, and so it's now been rolled out in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. So in 5 months, we've got a kind of population coverage with the app now of about 55 million people or thereabouts. We put it into the Linux Foundation, so we've created a project in the Linux Foundation called COVID Green, green for Ireland and green for the map going back to green again.
Okay.
And now that project is being actively maintained by a number of the contributors working for NearForm already. But that's been rolled out by other governments in different parts of the world. We're trying to enable them. So ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the platform technology rolled out as many places as we can, as quickly as we can, in order to solve the problem. Like, and that's a really nice thing to be able to be involved in, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So well done to everybody in NearForm, far and wide, 20 countries. That's
Yeah.
amazing. It's a very nice app.
Yeah.
It has to
Yeah.
be said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What should we do? We have to do something to fly the flag for UL, you know. Can't be delivering dodgy apps. Embarrassing the department. I actually got a close contact alert yesterday, by the way, so I know that it's working, but the app is reducing the time it takes to get notified by 2 days on average versus the manual system. And the app is picking up 50% more close contacts than the manual contact tracing is. So
yes,
you know,
that's a very good point, actually, because I know that there have been a lot of reports of people trying to do manual contact tracing, and that it's so soul destroying.
The thing with it is, it's not a replacement for you know, it's icing on the cake. You have to have
absolutely
a manual contact tracing setup.
It takes the grunt work out of it, but you still have to do the
other thing that's interesting as well is that it's from the get-go, we really had privacy in mind from when we were designing the app. So everything. One of the big things was, you know, we did accelerated behavioral studies on the rollout, on the ramp to rolling out the app. So even looking at the language, are you protecting yourself? Are you protecting others? You know, what way that went down with people, and what kind of data you graph in it? Do you put in the R number? Do you put in the number of new infections, number of deaths, or whatever? So we really have to tweak that end of things. But from a privacy perspective, every single aspect of the app is opt-in. And one of the really interesting things is, so in Ireland in particular, we've high trust in government, you know, compared to other countries. So I think it's 83% of people who install the app actually decided to put their phone number into it, and also decided to opt to share the anonymized data in it. So that's made that system way more powerful by having trust in this type of technology, which is by its nature difficult to implement and difficult to get numbers on because of how privacy preserving it is, you know. And all these things are important, and like it's nice to be able to help to do something to solve the problem, you know.
The business itself is extremely interesting, you know, the way it's grown organically, I would say.
Our challenge now really is to take, you know, what is like essentially a boutique, very high end firm and kind of grow it into a Gucci or an Armani without losing that kind of, you know, the special part of it.
Yes.
You know, and so I never compromise on talent and hiring. If we not getting the right people, we don't take them on. And I don't compromise in customers. So if the customers aren't right, we don't take the business on. So we decide not to grow if the customers aren't right as well.
Yeah. When you started the company, you located in Tramore. What was that a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, starting a technology company from Tramore on the surface doesn't sound like a particularly good, sensible idea. Like, and I would have been very much of the opinion early days that, you know, I wanted to up the family and move to London or move to New York or San Francisco, and certainly.
Where is that? Yeah, where it's all at. Yes.
Well, where it's all at, like, you know, but like, you know, I'm lucky I married someone with a bit of common sense, and you know, it's kind of like the thing that's really helped and made the whole thing successful, you know, is that grounding in, you know, the importance of family and quality of life and all these other things, you know, and so we had the challenge of starting a technology company from Waterford. And what it ultimately meant was I spent an awful lot of time on the road. You know, I spent about 90 nights a year away from home for the first 5 years of the company. So it was pretty exhausting, you know.
But I would have to say, now it looks like remote is the way everyone else is going. So you were there first.
It wasn't ultimately that much by design. It was kind of, you know, the structure that we have emerged out of the challenges that we had to face while trying to build a business, you know. And I mean, the thing, the beautiful thing now, you know, and even, you know, met our bank manager there last year in Tramore, and she's like, you do realize that NearForm employees have like bought like five new houses in Tramore this year or whatever, like, you know, so it's actually bringing money into the town. We're paying, like, you know, the top level that people are going to earn if they're based in Dublin, but you can live in Tramore and have a decent quality of life, like, and you know, if you think about remote working and these new types of organization, all you need is a place with good internet connectivity and a high quality of life, you know, nice place to live. And so you can see how like, you know, you play it forward 10 or 20 years, like that it should be a case that the technology organizations working in all the big companies in the world should be able to have like people working from places like Tramore and small towns where it's actually a nice place to live and bring up your kids and all that, you know.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So you probably hardly ever see them in real life then.
Typically in September, when the schools go back, we bring the company to like a holiday resort just out of season in France or somewhere for a few days, and we do like workshops. It's just more about spending time together than anything else. But we work a lot on doing things like brown bags, water coolers, all these regular check-ins with people. I do a thing once a month, like an open question, a kind of session for a half an hour to an hour. So anyone anywhere in the company can ask me anything they want.
Ask me anything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And literally, like, a sign to me of how healthy the company is how difficult some of the questions can be, because that means that people feel confident and, you know, and they feel confident that they can ask what's on their mind.
Exactly.
And stuff, you know? Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you do much coding yourself these days?
No. It's been
Sadly.
Like, my dirty secret, right? I was known as the Mr. Node.js in Europe and all that. Is that I actually never really liked JavaScript. It always kind of drove me a bit crazy, and I preferred like compiled programming languages. So it kind of went against everything I learned. But from a productivity perspective, it means you can achieve much more in a shorter amount of time. But like I haven't written code in about 10 years now, so I'll get back to it though.
Okay.
At the moment, if I wrote code, we'd get sued for it because of it.
Okay, well, on that dirty secret, I think I'll check the time. And thank you very much. It's been very interesting and lovely to catch up with you. And I hope to see you in Tramore sometime soon.
Yeah, it's really nice seeing you, Nora. It really is. And just to anyone from the department or you know, that I haven't seen in years, it's still have very fond memories of you, well, and yeah, hope everyone as well.